Hello everyone and welcome to today's edition. If you remember yesterday's video, if you watched it, I said, I warned about not over trading, and well, I didn't follow my own advice, but that's okay. I made, I think, 4 trades today. I was three for four, and actually the one that I stopped out on turned around and ran back up. If I would have been a little bit more patient with that one, that would have been a nice winner. And I was actually up 18% on it, and I didn't sell it, and it turned around and stopped me out. So that actually should have been a nice winner. Problem was, I'm playing tomorrow's expirations, and being the conservative trader that I am, I was only going in for like one contract, so I couldn't really scale out. If I and the reason for that is because on Thursday and Friday, when you're playing current week, Thursday and Friday, the options are really volatile, the contract prices, and the premiums really move around faster than they do earlier in the week. So I try to go in a little bit lighter, a little bit less contracts. So I was only going in for one contract. I think J&J, I had 2 contracts, and the only reason I had 2 is because I averaged down on it. So yeah, if I would have been playing more contracts or had a little bit more time, I would have probably made money on all 4 of them. But in the end, I'm still green for the day. Still a good day. Up $62. See the trades I made here. I traded. Let's take a look at them one at a time. J&J. This might be a little bit longer video just because I have 4 different trades to cover. Here's J&J. This was alerted by ROKU in the ramp-up trading room. I got in at 9:59, and I added to it at 10:28. So I got in at 9:59, which was right towards the close of this candle. I got in, and I added to it. At 10:28. So I added to it right here, right when it came down and touched this 100 SMA. This is a 3-minute chart. When it touched the 100 SMA, I went ahead and added because that was going to be my stop out anyway. So I figured the risk reward for adding here was very good in my favor, because adding one here, if it would have came down and closed below this, I would have stopped out, and that second contract wouldn't have been that much more of a loss. But the reward from averaging down outweighed that added risk. So I went ahead and averaged down. I added right here, just about when it touched this line. Actually, it just started to bounce off this line when I added the second one, and it turned out to be a good add. You see here, added it at 10:28. I sold one at 11:35, which was right about the close of this candle. Actually, it was right before this candle opened. So right at 11:35, just before this candle closed, I sold one contract. I had my sell order in because I figured we'd get some resistance here, but I put my sell order in, and that actually, because you can't really compare your options contract prices to the underlying price. I thought when I put it in, it would actually be closer to here that it would trigger, but it turned out to be up a little bit higher than it triggered. So either way, it still worked. Still made my money on it. So then I had I had a couple meetings coming up right after lunch, so I left for lunch, and I set a trailing stop, and yeah, of course it came down and it took me out. I set my trail stop for 7 cents. I think my average, I was in at 76 or 67. I was in at 67 cents for average. I set my trail stop for 7 cents, so my stop was going to be, I think, 75, which was still profit. and it came down. It actually came down and hit 70 cents here, and it popped back up. I was kind of expecting, every time I set a trail stop, that I almost always get stopped out. I just figured I'd rather get stopped out for profit than stopped out for a loss, so I was okay with that. And after all the, after holding it for this long, fighting through this, I was okay with just getting out of it for profit. Second trade, and like I said, the only reason I got in this trade was because it was alerted by Rock in the ramp up chat room, and I see what he was looking at here. He was looking at a wedge breakout. You see the wedge here. Let me draw it here for you. See the wedge going from here. It's not a very pretty wedge. Let me fix it a little bit. Oh. If we go off of these, forget this first one. Go off of these. We had a nice wedge here, and then across here. Pretty much coincided with the open. We got the break right here, but it didn't follow through, and that's what he was looking at. I'm pretty sure that's what he was looking at when he alerted it. I don't know what time he got in, but he was in it too. But that's what he was looking at. It broke out here. That's why I went ahead and bought. In the end, it worked out. I sold. My average exit was 76 cents, and my entry was my average entry was 67. So I made, I think it was 11%, 12. No, actually, I think it was higher than that. Let's take a look. 76 plus 58 divided by 2. Yeah, I was in at 67, and I exited at 76. So 76 minus 67 divided by 67. 13.4%. So I made 13% on J&J. It was only 2 contracts. But, if you look at this, $62 isn't a lot. But if you do that, and that's actually, I think, the worst day I've had this week. If you do that every day, 20 days in a month, that's $1,200 a month. That's 2 really nice car payments. That's a house payment. You do that every month, you can pay for your house on trading. And this is, I'm trading a small account here with very small entries. Yesterday, I think I made 90. I think it was $89 or $90 after fees. In fact, I can tell you exactly how much because I have a spreadsheet on my other computer. Yesterday, after fees, I made $90.38. Tuesday, after fees, I made $67.91. Monday, I didn't trade. If you remember, Monday was the day that the market dropped really big. Premiums were extremely high, so I didn't trade Monday at all. So yeah, after fees, Monday I made Tuesday I made $67.91. Yesterday, $90.38. Today, after fees, will probably be about $57. So this is the worst day of the week, but that's over $1,000 a month. So, don't think that you can't make money with trading small amounts. I mean, I went into this trade here, 76. I went into this trade for $135 or so. NVDA trade, I went in for $117. Boeing, I went in for $117. ROKU, I went in for $193. Just the smallest accounts can do that. So let's take a look at my next trade. My next trade, and I was actually in 3 of these all at one time. I don't like doing that, but here's how I do it. Not how I do it, but I have this quote thing. So I come in here, I go into my trades tab, and I find the trade that I'm looking for, and I actually have. Let me just show you exactly what I do. These are off on a different window. So I'll just show you how I have it set up. This is pretty much my watch list here. I have in my third monitor, I have a 6-pane window that I showed you yesterday. I think I showed you yesterday. I have a 6-pane window that shows Apple, Netflix, Spy, Boeing, Roku, and NVDA. I also watch a couple other ones, but I don't have enough monitor space to put them all up there, so I really don't trade them. I just watch them. But I watch those windows, and when I see something I like, I'll click on it. Let's just say, for instance, my next trade was, what was it, NVIDIA? I'll click on NVIDIA, and it automatically pops up here, and I have it linked to this chart with the number 3, so it automatically shows up here. I like the NVIDIA chart. Okay, I want to trade NVIDIA. And I look and I say, okay, we have a lot of contracts here. I want to trade this one. Copy. Come down here. Paste it in. Oh, I got the wrong keyboard here. Paste it in. There it is. Now I click on it, and it comes up over here on this screen. And this monitor here, let's just pretend this monitor is on my other screen, my other board. What I do is I have this here. I put this one beside it, and I have this one right about here. Remember, this is my options chart. I don't care what my options chart. I don't care what my options chart looks like. I don't even need this, but I do need this, and this. So I don't care if I'm blocking this out. On this, remember, all of this is going to be over here on this screen over on my left. All I need is this. Now in my other screen that I'll show you, that's up above on my third monitor, this is what I have on it. So if I'm in multiple trades, I can watch these screens from up above without clicking anything. And you'll notice that I have these all pinned. You hit these here, so I can click on here. These still stay in the foreground. If I unpin them and I click on it, it'll disappear. I have it set so they stay in the foreground. So I can click on this, I can move it. This isn't the actual screen. This here is the screen that would be behind it. But I can move it around. I could click on here and say, okay, I want to buy this. Click here. I could say, wait, I want to drag this over. Not that I would, because I don't really care what's over here anyway. But I can click in here, and this still stays in the foreground. So let me get back to what I was talking about earlier. If you have any questions about that, just put it in the comments section, and I can either do a separate video on it or just respond to your question and go into a little bit more detail with it or something. So let me put these back where they were. Okay, so back to here now. Alright, so I traded NVIDIA. This one was also alerted by Rock in the ramp up chat room, but I liked it. Got in at 10:15, and here's why I liked it. I'm not real sure what he was looking at, but he alerted it. I looked at the chart. I like this 10:21 or 9:21 cross here. I figured I had room at least to here, to the pre-market highs. Figured I could at least ride it up to that. But I rode it for a while. I got in, what I say it was, 10:15. 10:15. I stopped out at 11:27. So I got in at 10:15. I like the fact that we had a cross back here, so it was actually a little bit after the cross. If I would have got in on the cross, my entry would have been at about 155.92. I actually got in at 156.29, so I got in 30 cents too late. I rode this out to pull back. I didn't add. I came out. I was up about 18% right here. I was looking to ride it closer to here and sell, but it didn't make it there yet. And when it came down, we had this big red candle. My stop was right below today's open. When it broke that, I got out. Ended up being a 23% loss or something. You see here, it was only one contract, so it was $28. Got in at 117, got out at 89. So yeah, it ended up being, I think it was 23% loss. But like I said, if I would have been a little bit more patient with it, it would have worked out in the end. But again, my stop was here. It hit my stop. I got out. I followed my rules. So stuck with my plan. Next trade I got in was Boeing at 1042. Boeing, I got in on a 921 EMA cross because Boeing really likes those crosses. This one took a little while. Forgot what time I got in. 1042. So I got in at 1042 on the EMA cross. EMA cross was at 1036. I actually got in at 1042, right at the open of this candle. It went up just a little bit as soon as I entered, and then it dropped back. It pulled back to here to the VWAP, and then it took off. I sold it at 11.18 for $1.55. 11.18 was right at the close of this candle. And the reason I sold there was because this was a pre-market high right here. It's not a lot of resistance, but we had a pre-market high plus the high of the day here. So I put a sell order in. It took my target of my sell order and it kept on going. Yeah, it would have been nice to have rode it up higher, but I'm okay with it. I got 32%, I think. Again, it was only one contract. It was $1.55 from $1.17. 32.4%. So another winner there. ROKU got in at 106. Same thing. ROKU was a 921 EMA cross. ROKU had a good earnings report. They really liked the earnings. It's up like 20%. So it was a little bit riskier of a play. I got in right about here. Let me see what time it was again. In at 1306, out at 1351. So in at 1306 would have been this candle here. So the very next candle, as soon as the 921 EMA cross happened, I got in, and very next candle was a bearish engulfing candle. I was figuring I'd have room at least up to, the wicks go up to here, but the body's all stopped about here. So I figured I'd be able to ride it at least to there. That was my kind of like what I was looking at for a target. And you see we did come up and hit that. A lot of people will use the wicks, like this here was a previous high. But I also like to look at the bodies. You see the top of these candles, the bodies of these candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can count that one. 6, 7 candles in a row. The body stopped right around this range. To me, that means more than one wick. When you have 7 bodies that all stop at a certain range, that has more meaning to me than just one wick stopping at a higher range. So I was looking at this as being kind of like a target, and you see we hit it, and pretty much those same areas was the same resistance here. So I got in at 106 right here on this candle. A little bit of pullback. I got out at 151, which was would have been right at the close of this candle, which was coming right up to those levels. You remember I plotted those levels out roughly right about here, and I got out right here, just barely below it. So I think I played that one pretty well. Pretty much got as far as the the chart goes. I kind of got out where the chart told me to get out. So that was my trades for today. Those four, 3 for 4. I think that's a good day. ROKU ended up being what was the percentage on that? 227. %. So I had let me see what these were again. $76 minus 67. I had 13% win, 23% loss, 32% win, and 17% win. Pretty good numbers. I'm happy with that. Very simple strategies. Like I said, I what was it? 2 of the 3, or 2 of the 4, or maybe 3 of the 4 were moving average crosses. They've been working. I'm not going to complain about it. This week I have 5 wins and 1 loss. That's 83% winning percentage this week. I'm sure there's people out there that had better weeks than that, but I'm not going to complain about winning 83% of the time. If I could do that every week, I'd be doing this full time. So it's not as easy as some people make it look, and it's not as easy as I think I made it look this week. I just had a good week, got lucky, just followed my discipline. I wouldn't say got lucky. I followed my discipline, and I stuck to my plan. I didn't trade when I didn't think it would be a good thing to trade, like Monday. I'm probably done trading for today. I don't like trading after 3 o'clock. I don't have as much luck, as much success after 3 o'clock. So anyway, yeah, that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I was 3 for 4 today, 1 for 1 yesterday, 1 for 1 Tuesday. Done for today, probably done for the week because I probably won't be here tomorrow. So I'll catch everybody Monday, and hopefully we can have another good week next week. And and let me go back and say, I'm not just blindly trading these crosses. I'm looking at other things. I'm looking at, does the cross happen when it's curling up? Sometimes they'll cross when they're flatter. And it's kind of hard to detect, but they'll cross when they're flatter, and they don't usually follow through. Let's take a look at Boeing. I think it was Boeing earlier today. Maybe it was yesterday. Boeing kind of chopped, yeah. I mean, I guess these aren't flat, but this still would have worked out, because from a technical standpoint, your stop, if you would have entered here, your stop would have been down here, probably at least here. So you would have still been in the trade. But just look at other factors. Look at momentum. Look at what it's done. Look at the rest of what the rest of the market's doing. What other things are doing. Today, trades I entered today. J&J and NVDA. J&J was, I wouldn't have even been looking at J&J if it wouldn't have been alerted, wouldn't have been called out in the chat room. But I saw what he saw in the ascending triangle, which is why I got in. If there wouldn't have been an ascending triangle, if there wouldn't have been a pattern I liked, something I would have liked, I wouldn't have got in it. So that one, that was basically I followed somebody else in. NVDA, I got in a little bit later than I would have liked to have. And like I said, I was up 18% on it, 18.8% at one point. If I would have had more contracts, I would have scaled out and raised my stop and would have still made money on it. Boeing, that was my own trade. ROKU was my own trade. So anyway, that's it for today's video. Don't want to make it too long, but I had 4 trades to cover. Like I said, I'm probably done for the week, and hope to see everybody Monday. And be careful trading, and hope everybody has a green day tomorrow, green week next week, whatever. And talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.